As you can probably tell, we've been out this morning and done a bit of shopping so we can get this caravan container garden started. And we've picked up a nice selection of pre-grown plants. Obviously I'm going to be quite behind with what's happened over the last few weeks, so it doesn't hurt to cheat now and again. So we've got a few nice plants from Garden Centre and a selection of pots and seeds, things like that. I also picked up some shallots, because you can plant shallots at this time of year to harvest in autumn. Some really nice sized bulbs as well, and you get 10, and they're called Red Sun. So we'll get those in a container as soon as. We also picked up a couple of these containers, bad size, and I think they're only $3.99 each from Own Bargains or somewhere like that, but good sized containers. And they're 15 inches diameter, so these will be alright for a couple of tomato plants or something. We ain't 100% decided at the moment. So that's those two things. And of course we've got to sell some tomato food. We're going to need that to encourage these plants to grow even quicker. I also bought a propagator, all them things that I left behind. I had loads of these, but I thought these were quite reasonable. You get a pack of 4, and you've got the tray inserts. I'll just take them out and show them you. So you get these cells, obviously you get 4 of those, and each tray will hold 24 plants, so that's pretty good. And then we've got as lids and as bottom trays as well. Perfect to just drop in there, sow as seeds, and then pop that lid on. And we've got 4 really nice little propagators, and we've got a little table right outside at window, so we can sow some seeds over the next few days and then just pop them on that windowsill, and it'll just keep them nice and warm through the day. And then as soon as those plants do emerge, they're going to grow quite quick, because I'm not taking much or anything outside at the moment because it is very windy again. This is the second day on trot, but we've had gusting winds, so not a good idea to be putting his plants outside in that. They will get leaf burn. Then I've bought a selection of plants as well and some seeds. We've bought some of these. They can be grown in containers. I think they're called Douce Provence. I think that's how you pronounce it. But you get quite a lot of seeds. 350 seeds, and I think that pack costs $2.50 or something like that. So we can just keep re-sowing those dwarf peas. I've got a bit of lettuce as well. This one I've grown before, and it's called oak leaf. And they grow brilliant. If you've never tried those, get some of those seeds and give them a go. And then I've got another salad mix, so that's your cut and come again salads. There's quite a few different types in there. Got some rocket, because that's really nice to mix in with your salads. Some more spring onions. They're ones that I usually buy. They're called White Lisbon, so again we can get some nice spring onions grown in containers. I've got some French beans, and these ones are dwarf ones as well. So a container like the one you've just seen, or even a bit smaller, we can just get some of those growing, and we'll have some really nice French beans. And these are slender ones as well, so you can pick them quite young and they're really nice. I thought I'd try some swede as well. That's called Invitation. But swedes don't grow huge, and the tops don't grow massive either, so I'm pretty sure we can get a couple of swedes growing. And then I bought some of these, and we bought these and tried them last year, and they worked really well. These are Paris silver skin onions, or cocktail onions, and I remember last year I had some of these in a container, and once they get to about the size of a marble, you harvest them. But I left a container of those to grow on, and they got about that big, and there was really nice sweet onions. so I'm going to do that again this year. So quite a lot of seeds to get started, and we're going to be on that starting tomorrow. But I also picked up some pre-grown plants. These are quite small. They don't look brilliant, but these particular plants never do. They're called Tumbling Tom cherry tomatoes. So we can grow those in containers or hanging baskets. And because I haven't actually got any at the moment, because I left them behind in the garden in a tray, I thought it'd be a good idea to buy a few. So we've got a couple of them to start with, and I'm going to get some more so we can have lots of baskets and containers of these cherry tomatoes. I bought a chilli plant. That's for something different. I'm not a fan of hot chilies at all, but I like to grow them and see how they turn out. And that one, if you can see that picture, they're quite nice looking plants, and it's called Basket of Fire. That tells me they're quite hot. A couple of other plants that I dropped on as well. One is a full-size tomato plant, which we're going to be putting in one of those big containers, and that one is Alicante. So we've got Alicante, Moneymaker, and Tumbling Tom cherry tomatoes. And I've got another one here. This is also a hot chili pepper. I don't know why I'm growing them, but I just like to grow different things every year. And that's that one. That one's called Armageddon. I don't think I'm going to be eating any of those. And then we've got some grafted plants as well, which are quite good because grafted plants have got more resistance to disease and cold. That's the reason why they graft them. They're a little bit more expensive though. For a plant that size, it's like $4.99. And that one's a sweet pepper. Really good size. Just a few things to get us started, with us missing out on a few weeks. And then I got another one, but that is yellow peppers. So we've got red and yellow peppers growing there. And these are all grafted plants. And they had to get this one because it's called Mini Stars, and it's a cucumber plant. If you can see these pictures, I hope you can. So that one grows 3 to 4 inch cucumbers, bite-sized ones. So definitely I wanted to give those a try this year. And then this one is the biggest plant we bought, and this is called Sugar Gloss. So if you look at the picture on that, lots and lots of cherry tomatoes. We love us cherry tomatoes through summer in a salads, so we're getting a nice combination of things going quite early. But again, because it's a grafted plant, these will do perfectly fine outside. Not in frost. If there's frost, you need to bring them back in. Don't leave anything out in frost. But because they're less susceptible to the cold and disease, I think we should do quite well with these. And that, for $4.99, is a pretty big plant. So we've got quite a lot to do over the next few days, which is good. So we've had a bit of a slow start this year, as you'll all know. So now it's time to catch up. We're going to get things potted on as quick as we can. I've also bought 3 50-litre bags of compost as well to get us started. And of course, not forgetting, we've got all the plants that we brought from home, which it's not a lot, but we've got some really nice pepper plants there. And these are a different one to those because these grow long sweet bell peppers. So we're hoping to get quite a mixture this year. So it's a good start for a little bit of cash. So thank you so much for everybody that's donated, because a lot of the things that we're going to need for this caravan container garden is getting bought with money that were donated to the channel, which is brilliant. And of course I've got quite a lot of ideas for other things. This is only a little bit. We're going to get cold frames and things like that. We're going to get some planters which are double tiered, so we can have some on top, some just below. We can grow carrots and all sorts of things in there. I haven't bought those yet, but they'll be coming quite soon. So I'm going to get a couple of them at front of the van. Maybe some smaller ones, but with trellis on the back, so we can grow things up, and we've got lots of plans. But when it comes to adapting to a different surrounding to what we're used to, we have got to be a bit wary of the plants that we buy because we haven't got a greenhouse. So that is why I've chose to buy some that are a little bit more cold hardy, or ones that are perfectly fine to grow outside. But I also got these because we've got to adapt to our surroundings. So I got a couple of these plant pots, but they're not just a plant pot. They're a good size, but they've got a cutout, and you tie wrap them to things. So quickly, before I go, containers. I'll just show you why I bought these containers in particular. So I'll just show you what I'm doing with those. We're using them for this balcony. As potato plants and everything's coming on really nice. We'll get those potted on of it next day or so. But these fit just right on this balcony. So if we just put them on like that, that tie wrap goes underneath and secures it. But they're not going to come off once they've got composted. But we can grow quite a few plants just on this area. So making use of that vertical space as well. So I think they're a really good idea. And we've got 4 on there, plenty of space between them. So I'll probably put another 2 there as well. And that's a really good start to this container garden. So I think they're going to work really well. We can put some of these tumbling tom tomato plants in and let them trail down that balcony. I think that's going to look brilliant, and it's really easy to protect them from anything that might want to chew on them, and also very easy when it comes to harvest. So these are going to be great. So we'll have a look at how much space we've got when we've got these on, and maybe I'll just pick up a few more because these weren't expensive either. So that's about it for today. Tomorrow hopefully this wind's going to die down and we can actually get something done. If not, we'll sow some things indoors in these propagators so we can still get some on its way. And once again, thank you so much to us latest donators. I really do appreciate your generosity, and I'm going to put your names on screen at the end of this video. So thank you so much for doing that. It's really generous of you. And if you want to see progress for this caravan container garden, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.